Last time on Dragon Ball Z, the fusion dance has saved us. The battle between Goku and Frieza culminated in the strongest fusion yet, Gogeta. With planet Namek saved and Frieza defeated, the Z Fighters return to Earth in peace. Vegeta and Nappa head to Earth in search for the Dragon Balls once more. However, a new challenge is ahead. Will fusion be enough to take on the threat? Android Fusion. What if Goku and Vegeta learned fusion early?
After returning to Earth, the Z Fighters reunite with their friends and family at Capsule Corp. The celebrations are short-lived when Vegeta and Nappa arrive. The Earthlings are nervous as they get into fighting stances, but Goku simply smiles at them. He asked Vegeta if he came for a rematch. The prince responded that Kakarot knew exactly what he was there. They both had felt the power of Super Saiyan within them as they fused. Goku said that, yeah, their hair changed, and now he wants to figure out how to do it on his own. In exchange for helping him figure it out, Vegeta promises not to bring any more harm to Earth. Nappa comes up from behind Goku, picking him up and telling him that he wants to turn into a Super Saiyan as well. Goku chuckles. He offers his hand down to the begrudging Vegeta, who accepts it. For the next few months, Goku trains vigorously with Vegeta in order to unlock Super Saiyan without fusion. Both Nappa and Vegeta were allowed to stay at Capsule Corp. Nappa tried to join in the sparring, but he was unable to keep up with Goku and Vegeta's intense training sessions. Sensing his frustration, Dr. Briefs and his wife suggested to Nappa that one day he should try a new hobby so he could try to relax. Bulma's mother asked if Nappa would like to join her in watering her garden. Nappa rejects at first, of course, but he changes his mind when she gives him some fresh-baked cookies. Nappa thinks that he wouldn't have liked menial labor, but over time he started to enjoy it, along with spending time with the married couple. 1 year of peace passed by. During this time, Goku and Vegeta were both able to unlock Super Saiyan through their extreme sparring. After they had transformed, Vegeta laughed triumphantly as he stared down at Goku, challenging him to a fight. Goku agrees, but not now. He needed to head back home or Chi-Chi would kill him. So they settle on fighting each other the following day. But that rematch wouldn't come, as the next day, the Z Fighters congregate as the familiar key approaches Earth. Frieza, he had survived. Not only that, but there was another powerful key signature. Nappa gulped and Vegeta gritted his teeth. It must be King Cold. Vegeta yells at Nappa to put away the water and the plants, as they both fly off towards the key signature. The Z Fighters, the Saiyans, and even Bulma arrive at the wasteland, where Frieza's ship landed. As Mecha Frieza and King Cold come out of the ship with their soldiers, Goku, Vegeta, and the Dragon Team are there to greet them. The Z Fighters stand before the spaceship, as a platoon of Frieza soldiers line up in front of the spacecraft. They salute both King Cold and the mechanized Frieza, exiting the ship. Goku steps up and asks Frieza what he's doing on Earth. The alien chuckles, explaining that he intends on having his revenge once and for all, making them all suffer before destroying this backwater planet. Frieza transforms back down into his second form, confusing Goku and the others. He says that he should thank them for teaching them something important back on Namek, that teamwork is sometimes required to get the job done. Frieza asks King Cold to get in the position, as he claps his hands together in delight. It has been years since he danced in public with his little boy, which causes everyone, especially Frieza, to wince and cringe. Everyone watches in awe as the two tyrants fuse into one, Frieza. Due to Frieza witnessing the various fusions on Namek, he researched the Frieza Force database for every scrap of information regarding the dance that fuses two beings together. After finding out about the Metamorians and using the resources of the Frieza Force to gather more intel, Frieza was able to teach himself and his father the fusion dance. Frieza's power was immense, and he challenges the two Saiyans to fuse. The Saiyans claim they don't need to. Vegeta and Kakarot chuckle. Goku extends his arm, telling Vegeta to take the lead, and he gladly takes him up on the offer, turning into a Super Saiyan and rushing in. Vegeta and Frieza clash. The battle was intense, and Vegeta got a little worried. It was more difficult than he expected. He wasn't really used to Super Saiyan quite yet. Frieza finds an opening and grabs Vegeta's leg with his tail, throwing him into a nearby rock formation. Frieza chuckles before saying that it had been an exciting exercise, but it's time to take things seriously. Frieza transforms into his final form, engulfed in the brilliant purple light. Goku realizes the horror of just how powerful Frieza has become, and he immediately powers up into Super Saiyan, so both he and Vegeta lunge at the tyrant. Even with the two Super Saiyans assaulting him with flurries of punches and kicks, Frieza was simply dodging and blocking. They got him quite a few times. He wasn't exactly out of their range, but he was more powerful than ever before. Goku tries to fire a Kamehameha at Frieza, but the evildoer is able to ride through the beam and smashes Goku against the floor. Frieza grabs both Saiyans' heads with his feet as he spins in the air before throwing them towards a mountain. Goku and Vegeta are left winded. Goku pleads with Vegeta that fusing may be their only shot. Vegeta refuses, yelling out that he'd sooner die than fuse again. Frieza floated towards the bloodied and beaten Saiyans, who had dropped down from Super Saiyan. He laughed, saying that not even these pathetic monkeys with golden hair could do anything against the overwhelming power of the Cold Clan. He turned around, pointing a death beam towards the terrified Z-Fighters, asking Goku how many he should kill, aiming for Krillin. He smiles and fires the death beam, but before it reaches Krillin, a mysterious hooded figure appears in front of the blast, smacking it away. Everyone is shocked at the sudden reveal of a new fighter, especially Frieza. Did this man just reflect his attack? Frieza asks this unknown man if he had a reason to be here. Surely he doesn't think he can stop him. The hooded figure takes out his sword, and without skipping a beat, declares, "Stop you. I'm here to kill you." Frieza chuckles and lunges towards the man. However, the hooded figure dodges out of the way, and with a flick of his finger, got his sword out, slicing him clean through Frieza. The fusion ended right then and there. Both Frieza and King Cold cut in half. The man begins to gather energy right on his chest, screaming out, "Burning Kamehameha!" The Colts were defeated. Vegeta, with both his body and pride hurt, stands over the remains of them. He had gotten the satisfaction of being stronger than his tormentor, but he didn't feel fulfilled. He clenched his fist and looked over at Kakarot. He was next. But as the two stared each other down, the mysterious being from earlier appeared between the two. He was wearing a robe with a hood, but they could tell that he had scars on his face and purple hair. They asked who the hell he was, and he simply said that he needed to talk to them. Vegeta and Goku looked at each other, recognizing that the man had a double voice, like that of a fusion. They didn't trust him. On his wrist, he wore a strange band with the Capsule Corp logo. The man explained that a few years from now, a pair of androids will attack. Androids with abilities similar to theirs, created by the evil Dr. Gero of the former Red Ribbon Army. These androids killed the Z-Fighters and razed the planet. No one survives. He theorized that if Vegeta had been willing to fuse with Goku again, then perhaps he would have won. But Goku died before they could. The androids have a strange mechanism that works as a fusion, or absorption. He wasn't sure how it worked, but they were incredibly powerful. It was their task to train before then. Neither of the Saiyans believed him, so he proved his worth by transforming into a Super Saiyan. They couldn't believe it. Another Saiyan? This fusion was able to defeat Frieza without transforming, yet even he couldn't defeat these androids? Vegeta acted as if he didn't care, but both him and Goku were excited. The man gave medicine to Goku, telling him to take it as soon as possible. Without saying a word, the mysterious cloaked man flies off. For the next 3 years, the heroes began to train in order to get stronger. However, Vegeta refused to work with Goku and further refine their fusion. He left to be on his own. Nappa went with him, but eventually returned to Capsule Corp once he realized that he couldn't keep up with the prince. The day arrived for the androids to attack. Bulma welcomed them with a little baby, Trunks, whom they all did not know the name of, and thus were extremely surprised, even Goku, to see that Vegeta had a kid. But that's not the only surprise Bulma brought with her. She also had a new technology to show off. Armbands that she dubbed Metamor Rings. In theory, they would allow anyone of any race and size to fuse together. They were still imperfect, so they could only last half as long as a regular fusion, but it was easier to use. Goku thanked her, giving a pair to Krillin to take care of. Gohan looks around and notices that Piccolo seems to be missing. Their conversation is cut short. A blast sounds off in a nearby city as the androids have arrived. The Z-Fighters break into pairs and scatter across the city in search for the machines. Yamcha and Tien look for the androids together. When 19 and 20 find and recognize them, they clash in the middle of the city. The humans weren't able to keep up and admitted that they hated to have to do this, but they revealed that through their training together, they had also been practicing the fusion dance. They fused their might into Tianxia and begin their fight against Android 19. Goku and Krillin arrive, Very impressed by the battle, Dr. Gero, Android 20, recognizes them. He instantly goes in for Goku. Gero is impressed by Goku's strength, as it seems higher than his previous data projections. The two fights continue and Tiancha defeats Android 19 with a Wolf Fang volleyball fist, breaking the android in two. However, a large amount of his energy had been absorbed. Gero grieves that his android was defeated, but this was merely a ploy. With Goku's guard down, he strikes, grabbing Goku by the neck, smashing him down, and absorbing his ki. Gero revealed something terrifying. He unbuttoned his shirt and revealed the machinations on his chest. His eyes flashed as a computer chip and energy reactor from Android 19's body came flying towards him. Was this the fusion-inspired ability that the mysterious man warned them about? Gero's hair spiked up and his muscle mass increased. His skin even turned pale. He had transformed into Super Android 20. Gero charged towards Tiancha. Super Gero was relentless in his assault, grabbing him by the leg and smashing him against the ground, stealing every bit of his energy. His last move was to pierce right through the fusion, defeating him. He threw him down to the ground as it diffused. The two were unconscious, and Krillin went over to them to help them, giving them senzu beans. Goku clenched his fist and damned the world. There was nothing he could do. He could only try to hold off the doctor. The other warriors eventually arrive, Nappa, Vegeta, and Gohan helping out. But even they aren't enough to battle against Super Gero. Without much of a choice, Goku tells Vegeta to fuse with him, but the prince refuses, until he starts to realize that this is becoming the future that the mysterious being warned them about. He looked around and saw the Earthlings defeated on the ground. He cursed out loud and said that fine, he was going to fuse with them. The two get into their stances, dancing towards each other and fusing once more into Gogeta. As Gero is about to land the final finishing blow on Nappa, Gogeta approaches the doctor, asking if he's ever felt fear before. Before he can answer though, Gogeta locks his hand with Gero's, crushing it, destroying the absorption mechanism. The battle was nothing for Gogeta. He was having a lot of fun. But as he transformed into a Super Saiyan for the final attack, he felt something. He clenched his chest and all his friends wondered what was going on. He reverted back to his base form and screamed out in pain as he fell to the ground. It was the heart virus. Goku never took the medicine. Super Gero took this chance to hold out his arm and grabbed onto Gogeta, absorbing whatever energy he could, afraid that he'd be defeated. This is power he has never felt before. It's incredible. He starts to laugh manically. He doesn't know what's happening, but he'd be a fool not to take advantage of the situation. He thanks Gogeta for all this energy. It was finally over. He begins to create an energy sphere from his chest, calling it the SS Deadly Bomber. But before he can fire it, a beam burst right through him. It was Piccolo. Before the androids appeared, Piccolo had gone to the lookout to meet Kami. Piccolo agreed that if these androids had the ability to fuse, then they would be the greatest threat known to Earth. Kami agreed to fuse with Piccolo, recognizing the strength of this sort of technique, and thus the Namekian with no name was reborn. Despite not fusing with Nail, Piccolo still had a huge additional set of training over the past 3 years, with not only Goku and Gohan, but also the fused Z-fighters, such as Tiancha. Thanks to this, the lack of Nail isn't much of a problem, and Piccolo is able to help Gogeta, as the special beam cannon destroyed his other arm. Piccolo's ready to finish off Gero, when suddenly, the Saiyan from the future, from 3 years earlier, arrives, but he looks around in confusion. None of these are the androids that he knew. Gero once again takes advantage of the situation by firing a giant ki blast against the ground. The smoke and dust leave everyone blinded, unable to read his ki. Gero disappears. Krillin scorts out Gogeta, while the rest of the Z-fighters fly off in search of Gero, including the future Saiyan. The little Gohan asks who exactly he is. The future Saiyan can't answer the question, and when questioned about what happens to Gohan in the future, his eyes widen a little, but he becomes quiet again. Gohan is confused and a little worried about who this man could be. They track down Super Gero to his lab, when the awakened 17 and 18 appear. Gero warns them that they can fuse, and that their fusions are stronger than ever before. 18 looks at her brother, and upon hearing the sounds of the Z-fighters blasting down, saying that whatever, she doesn't care either way, she just wants this to be over with. The twins disappear onto one another, their eyes glowing as they combine into one being. The door to the lab bursts open as the future android screams. This is what he wanted to stop, the fusion. This fusion was what killed everyone. He powered up into a Super Saiyan, charging his ki as his cloak flies off his face, revealing a man with purple and black hair along with scars. Piccolo recognized that he looked rather familiar.
Burning Kamehameha!
The massive blast strikes the androids, and the lab is destroyed. But before the blast reached him, Jiro's huge body grabbed onto Android 16's capsule, protecting it with his body. Nothing of the lab remained, only a bright light emitting from the twins. The future warrior could do nothing but stare in disbelief. The newly born fusion whipped its hair back, smirking. This new super android would mean the end of Earth. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I know this was left in a cliffhanger. This is one of the craziest parts of a what if I've done so far. I know it went some weird places, but I thought it makes sense in context to Fusion being introduced early, so I hope you liked that. Thank you so much to Professor Chimp for helping me out with this story. Be sure to check out his channel if you haven't already. This is about the time of year where channels are down compared to the rest of it, so sharing the video, liking, subscribing really helps a lot, especially sharing and commenting, so it really gets the algorithm going for the videos. So be sure to share if you want the next part. Can we get this video to 3,000 likes? I think we can do it, right? Also, it's been a minute since I've done a first part to a what if, so comment any what if you want to see and we'll see if I do it. The Dragon Ball question of the week this week is, what would you name your fusion and who would you fuse with? Be sure to comment down below with hashtag DBQ and start a discussion. As always, thank you to my Super Saiyan Legend members of the channel. You guys are the reason my channel stays afloat. Anyways guys, until we meet again, see ya!
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Smugstick, unless you want to be destroyed. Lord Beerus, that's hardly fair. But also, don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified when he uploads new videos.